Welcome to the Weekly 5 for the week of April 4th, 2016. And what I want to talk about today actually came from an email that Julie Daniels sent me. She was talking about this time of year with UIL contests, with STAR coming out, with all of these different areas right here where we have to really see how well we have prepared students for how they're ultimately going to be held accountable is oftentimes very tough. And so one of the things that I want to say is that we are very fortunate in education. A lot of individuals work with stocks or work with all sorts of different things. We work with kids, and we have a moral purpose to what we do, because if anybody is going to make a difference in a kid's life, it's going to be us. This all came to me when I was a first-year teacher. And so with this first-year teacher, I was driving behind the school one day, had a couple of kids there. And first of all, without a doubt, you're not supposed to give kids a ride home in your own car. There's good reasons for this. Talk to your school lawyer or whatever it is to make sure you find out. But we care about what goes on with kids, so we do what we need to do sometimes. And so I told this young man, he had a sister with him, to hop in. If you've ever been down old East Texas roads, at least back in the day, there were bridges that looked like the one on the screen. And so we came up to it, and I asked the young man, I said, is this thing going to hold up the car? And he said, oh, yeah, not a problem. We drive across it all the time. So I slowly went across and made it. And when we finally pulled into his house, we pulled into this. And hard to really describe here, but you see the big hole on one side. There was one even bigger than that on the other side. There was no electricity, no running water. The house was kind of leaning where it looked like if a support structure cracked at one point, then it all might come tumbling down. And I'd really never seen that before. I grew up in a middle-class household, great family, and really didn't understand some of the challenges a lot of our kids have. And I will tell you, in Texas, every school district around has these same types of challenges. Now, there are two things that I think are really important when it comes to this. First of all, when you look at the day-to-day development of kids, we've got to make sure that we push them to be the best they possibly can be. In fact, I use coaching in this picture because coaches are supposed to make people believe they are better than they are and push them to get to that point. And so we want to look at a couple of areas here that benefit you from there. First of all, if you have kids that come through and they understand education, they find their niche within education and keep going through there, you only have more keys to open more doors as you get more education, more degrees. And you can see that in median weekly earnings goes up, and then if you want to be employed, then the odds of you being employed increase as your education level rises. But I'll say there's even one other thing here, is that we also want to make sure we develop our kids emotionally and socially. A lot of times our kids come from rough backgrounds and don't understand what they have to offer. And we need to make sure that we take care of this. Greatest job in the world, folks, often toughest job in the world, but we make the biggest difference with kids. We have a moral purpose to what we do, and we ought to be proud of it. I want to real quickly thank several individuals who sent emails to me this week to let me know that they enjoyed the Weekly 5. Julie Daniels, who actually, her email kind of led to this overall presentation. Michael Herring in Robinson ISD, Martin Silverman in Judson, Crystal Herron Amarillo, Kathy Boyd Longview, and Joey Thomas in Clear Creek. I appreciate it. And even more so, if you like this thing, let me know. But even beyond that, let others know and forward it to them as well.